Welcome out, everyone. All of you great decoders, male and female, around the world, wherever you may be. My name is Logan, your tour guide, and this is Decode Your Reality, and today is going to be on you. This is what is your story decoded. I'm going to jump right into this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a decoding short, so I'm going to breeze through these. Trying to get as much content as I can out to all you great decoders to give you things to think about. I'm going to start off with this screen right here because as I have continued to say in a lot of my lives, you're in a movie. See, if you can kind of wrap your mind around an audience is watching your screen. Imagine that you're on the screen and there's an audience watching you, and this is what it looks like. This is exactly what it would look like for some of you. For others of you, it will look like this. There will be barely anybody in the audience because you're paying too much attention to the mainstream. You're giving all your energy away, and your movie's not fun. It's boring because you're doing the blame game, you're pointing the finger, et cetera, et cetera. And this is just me going with the flow here, ladies and gentlemen. This is like, do you want to have this crowd or do you want to have this crowd? What's your story? I'm going to break it down for all of you. I would hope you'd want this one, right? So when you turn off the mainstream and you stop doing the blame game, your audience goes from this to this. Like would people tune into season 2 if you're in a reality show? I've said this so many times now. Well, let's find out, right? What is your story, ladies and gentlemen? That's like my little pep talk. Well, what is your story is a 53 using the science of numbers. What a big number this is. The 5 and the 3. The colors blue and yellow. And it leads to this element right here called iodine, which is 1/2 of the I am, which is what you say a lot in your life. Hey, what are you going to go do? Hey, I'm going to go do this. I am going to go do that. I am going to this. I am going to that. It's constantly using that letter I. You use it a lot. If you pay attention how much you use it, it's going to be a lot because this is your story. This iodine is very interesting. It goes many ways. I'm going to break this down, but let's show you through more alchemy here and do a little bit more of a deep dive. You see, there is the I am, and I'm going to get into that. But since iodine has 53 protons, I'm going to locate the element that has an atomic mass of 53, and how very fitting it's this element called chromium. And it's the 24th element, 24 hours in a day. Just so happens that the word Jesus in the Greek from the New Testament happens to have a numerology of 24. How about that? Coincidence? Well, as I have been saying so much, you are the Christ having the Jesus Christ superstar experience, male, female, etc., etc. These are the pictures chosen, the icons chosen for these elements. Iodine has seaweed because seaweed has a lot of iodine in it. And then chromium has the skull with wings because this is exactly what we're all on a trip to do, and that's die one day. And it's just so interesting because I'm here in Mexico, the Riviera Maya, the Yucatan Peninsula, and for the past 2 years, there has been an overload of seaweed. It's called sargassum here in Mexico on the beach, like nasty, the worst, tons of money to spend up on the cleanup. So what, to me, this was pretty relevant for me. Like what's the sign trying to tell me? It's the changing of the guards. Absolutely. That's the message I'm here to portray to all of you. The story is changing. That's why all the seaweed's washing up on the beaches here in unprecedented fashion. It's insane. That was like my little message, my little personal message to you in my story. But when you take the protons of chromium and iodine, 53 and 24, you add it up, you get 77. And there you go. You get this element called iridium, comes from the Greek goddess Iris. I've gone over this. That's the 59, which is a contract with God and the game of life. I've already broken this down. It's your eyeball. So what is your story? Well, it's through your eyes, and you're being used, folks. You're on television. I mean, I just picked this random picture and I just saw this. Look at that right there, man. I didn't even know that. I'm just so amazed by this code, just using me. But let's keep going. What about if we add up the atomic masses of the iodine and chromium? Well, we get the 180, and there's just the perfect picture, right? It goes to this element, tantalum, and the 73 protons. It's pretty much a dead giveaway. This is a humdinger, right? Just showing more support that you're in a movie, folks. You're on television, man. And you know what's happening? You're being watched 24/7. Nothing. So if you're in the shower doing the yada, 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 if you're doing this in the sheets, if you're doing this in it behind closed doors, man, there's nothing behind nothing. Everything's being observed in this reality, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think you're going to get away with it. You ain't. You're being watched, but you're being used, so it doesn't matter. You see, you're being used for your avatar. That's exactly how this reality works. Something's watching us as television shows. Like you can tune in with the remote on all these shows, your favorite shows. I'm going to binge watch this. What do you think the Supernatural's doing? Binge watching us. Same thing, as above, so below. Telling you, this is the way this works. I've shown, check out my You're on Television Decoded. So in my scripted reality 8, I came out with this graphic here to show you how the source code is playing out through alchemy and the string of the golden ratio, the 1.61, yada, yada, yada. And so because it's 53 protons and 95 protons, spelling I am with the periodic table, I decided like what digit is occupying that 53rd space, including the 1 point? Well, it's digit number 8. So the I is 8, which is the torus field, which is the infinity symbol, which if you turn it on its side, a lot of you have caught on, they're handcuffs. Okay? Is there any getting out of this reality? Who knows? And then the 3 is the digit occupying space number 95, which is a broken 8. Okay? Maybe allowing you to realize that there's more to this reality than just the I and the I am. So I'm going to be covering this in my upcoming big breakdown, my last one. I'm not doing another one after this. The final breakdown of these two characters, these two ideas. And I'm going to show you with this methodology what these two ideas mean. And I'm going to tell you straight, here's the truth bomb. It's you. You're both of them. Now, some of you may not agree with that because you're going to separate Lucifer thinking it's the devil and the boogeyman, he's out to get you, and etc. But ladies and gentlemen, this is one half of your brain and the other half of your brain. Good cop, bad cop. It's the double helix. One side, one side. And it's when you break down, this is going to be a big one. This is like the biggest one I've done on Jesus and Lucifer. And this is what you're having. You're having a light experience. This is the light game. That's why Jesus was known as the light of the world and Lucifer is the light bringer. You think there's any difference to that? It's all referencing light. Without light, there's no game. There's no movie. There's no projection on the screen. Yeshua is an 8 when you break it all the way down in its original Hebrew numerology. It's a 386, which reduces down to the number 8, and Lucifer, which is called Hallel, is going to reduce all the way down to the 3, and the 3 is a broken 8. So you can look at it as the 1111. There's so many ways to put this into context. The 83, the 38, this is actor and actress, and it's going to be all tied to your brain. You see, your brain is not your own. You don't own it. You're renting it. You're renting a body. It's using you to experience out this own reality. And everybody has their own screenplay, their own blueprint. Most people just gladly give it away because they're too busy and engrossed in the dirty laundry because that's what excites them. That's where they get their fix every single day. So keep your eyes out for this one. This is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a big one, a big humdinger, this one right here coming out. So let's get into the screenplay, right? Here's the definition of it. And I'm just going to replace movie with Earth. The script of Earth, including acting. All of you are acting out your parts. You're in a reality show. That's exactly what this whole thing is all about. Okay, The Truman Show did a great job of it amongst so many other movies now that I've watched. The Adjustment Bureau, I mean, there's so many good ones. So let's start off with this right here. The screenplay for Earth is a 70. This is going to be tied to the Pentagon, the 7 Pentagon numbers. The 7th is going to be 70. Okay, the crown. And if you go 70 digits into the string of the golden ratio, look at what digit occupies that 70th space. 0. How very fitting. Because 0 is 21. The 21st card in the tarot has got the big fat 0 right in the middle of it. It's the Stargate. It's spirit coming down into physical matter and entering into an avatar through that 0. And of course, love is 21. This is what this whole reality is based on. Chasing love, chasing whatever it is, folks. Humping, creating babies, procreation, creating companies, businesses, stock market, portfolios, corporations. You fall in love with your hobbies, your addictions, your habits. That's what this whole reality is based on. And it's for the God, the supernatural, to experience its own reality. And I'm telling you, there's way more to it than just what we're seeing. There's a bigger story that's behind that. And this is what it really comes down to here. Look at all these outcomes with the same outcome using just Chaldean numerology, which is, to my opinion, the top dog cipher. You don't need to even use any other cipher. Earth screenplays 56. Lights, camera, action 56. Spirit into matter 56. Thank you, Roland, for that. Operating system 56. You think this is an accident? This is all the code playing out behind our reality through the magic spells that we're speaking. This is called the science of numbers numerology. 56, there's the 5 and 6. It's on the most popular sport in the world is football, soccer. There's a 5 and a 6 on that soccer ball. 5 is the pentagon, 6 is the hexagon. Most popular sport in the world's got the 5 and 6 on. They think that's an accident? No. Mankind is being used, folks. What are we being used for? Well, how about opening up the Pandora's box? So I asked the question, what is the screenplay of Earth? I get the 102. I have these memorized now, so it's easy. Well, it's going to be tied to this element right here called rhodium, and this is from the 17th century secret society called Rosicrucians. And this element is tied to the rose that gives the bees honeys. That's because that's what we all are, folks. The energy you give off is feeding the bees. And it's Pandora's box. The shitstorm gets opened up. Go study the mythology of it. You'll start to get a better sense of what this whole... So what is the screenplay of Earth? The Pandora's box, which I covered this in my Sex Decoded. This is what a whole reality is based on, right? Procreation, the game needs players. Well, this guy right here had a pretty amazing code. Elvis. Well, yeah, he starred in this movie called Blue Hawaii. He sang a song called I Can't Help But Falling in Love With You. He meant Earth. He meant the whole aspects of Earth. The running time of this movie, 102 minutes. You think that's an accident? No, of course not. That's the screenplay of Earth. It's love. It's humping, chasing ass, building things, etc., etc. Mankind's being used for that. You're being used for that, and you're on television. So the question is, what is the screenplay of your life? It's the 118, which is going to be tied to tin, and the Tin Man's looking for his heart. I've already covered the Wizard of Oz so many times. But how about this, ladies and gentlemen? See, this is some advanced decoding. So if you're looking at just prime numbers, well, there's more to numbers than just the primes, all right? Because there's a lot of numbers that are not prime numbers, and where do you go with that? Well, these are composite numbers, they're called, which means it's not a prime number, and it has divisors. Prime numbers can only be divided in two ways, one in themselves. And this 118 has 4 of them. 1, 2, 59, and 118. There's the contracted game of life, et cetera, et cetera. But you add these 4 up. This was the clue, is the 180. And the 180 stamped right on that 73rd element, tantalum. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. So what is the screenplay of your life? You're on television. That's the screenplay of your life. That's it. That's what these clues are telling us. These are undeniable, in my opinion. This is the stuff I'd bring to court and set before a jury to plead my case that mankind is being used. So tantalum comes from the Greek word tantalos, which I showed them you're on television, 106, and there's the 2 base pairs of our DNA. Your DNA is on television, folks. It's just so easy to see when you have all the tools, right? So the screenplay, we're going to we break it all down. Like, what's the screenplay of your life? How about screenplay? 36. Jesus Christ equals 36. You're all having the Jesus Christ superstar experience. It's the light game. Jesus, the light of the world. Lucifer, the light bringer. It's all about the photons, which create light. 36. 369, the keys to the universe. Here's the 36 card in the card of illumination. The 10 of diamonds. It's called Fortunate Blessings card. And you notice that on that 10 of diamonds, it's the 0 and the 1. And the 1 and 0 is the 38. Actor and actress is 38. And if I go all the way back up here, you remember that Jesus and Lucifer have that 8, 3, and 38. This is why you're both, folks. Or these are one and the same. Okay? There's no separation, ladies and gentlemen. You're being used as an avatar. Just got to have fun with this reality. But I mean, not you, though. Only you. You're the only one that's not being used. That's just my fun way of being humorous here. So let's keep going with this actor and actress. So the 10 of diamonds found from the screenplay in Photon, the light game, converts into the tarot. And I'm using the tarot with 77 cards, not 78. The Fool's only used in the 0 position. This puts the 10 of Pentacles at card number 73. And there you go. You're on television. You see, you're an actor and actress through the binary system. And there it is on that card. And it's all about the light game. And this is the screenplay. And you're on television. Okay? And this is what it is, your blueprint. I mean, is it a coincidence that blueprint is 36, screenplay is 36, Phoenix is 36? We're all part of the Phoenix Rising, by the way. Just so you know, the Phoenix Rising event, everybody's involved in it. Nobody's excluded from that. All hands on deck. So what about the 36 in the string of the golden ratio? You got to go 30 digits to get to the 36. How big it is for the screenplay, blueprint, Phoenix, Jesus Christ, 30. They're all 36. And it's going to give you a total of 157. I've shown this already. And it puts you right into you're on television. The GD element, gadolinium. They used to make television screens with it. That's why they use this for the icon. One of the reasons why. 157. The 57 is the Truman Show. 157. 64 possible codons in our DNA. 64 squares in a chessboard, which tells you has nothing to do with masonry. They use it, has nothing to do with them. Zero, zilcho, nada. It's just in nature. And we go 30 digits, right? We go 30 digits into the string of the golden ratio and we get role play. That's exactly, because again, just surmising what I'm saying, you're on television, you're an actor, actress, you have a screenplay, you have very limited free will. That's my opinion. And you're living out your screenplay. That's my final answer at this point. And so this 36 occupies digit 29 and 30 to give you that 157 to tell you you're on television, the screenplay for everybody. Everybody's on television. So the 29 and 30, when you add those up, simple math, 59, and there you go. It's the game of life. That's what you're playing out. And it's a contract. You have a contract. See, you got a contract. And it's the game of life, 59. 59 is going to reduce down to the number 5. That's why you got 5 fingers and 5 toes. 5 is the house of Leo, ruled by the sun. The light game is what we're playing out through Leo. And the sun and the pride and the ego and all that stuff. So here's the 36 card in the tarot to match that 36 screenplay. It's the Ace of Cups. This is going to be tied to Nobelium, element 102, which is Nobel Prize, master teacher. That's why Jesus Christ is 36. You're your own master teacher, by the way. You don't need to find a guru. You are the guru. So when you do the numerology of Ace of Cups, it's 44, bringing that into the string of the golden ratio. And look at what digits it occupies, 59 and 60. 59, there you go. It goes right back to this. See, there's no escaping any of this stuff. These people that created these cards, they didn't create them going this deep into the code and then say, okay, well, this card has to be this. We have to do the numerology of it. And it's got to, no. They created the cards with some of this knowledge. Yes, I believe that, but not at this level here, folks. This is why we have the most advanced way to decode, because we have the computer. They didn't have the computers. Well, we don't think anyway. Back in the day, 1900s, these were created. Maybe they did. I could be stand corrected on that. It's very possible, but there you go. This is the code right here, nonetheless. That's how dialed in the tarot is. That's why the tarot is so amazing, and numerology is amazing, and the golden ratio, et cetera, et cetera. So we're getting to the tail end as I got like 3 slides left here. Solar spread number 36. Those of you that are fans of the cards, here it is. Solar spread 36. And if you want to get the actual spreads, you can go to Aquarius Maximus, her website, and here's all the solar spreads if you want to get them. But this is number 36, right? Because we're talking about the screenplay. So I'm going to locate space 36. It's like a bingo chart. Space 36, here it is. It's the 6 of hearts. 6 of hearts is the card for Christmas, by the way. December 25th, 6 of hearts. So Jesus Christ is 36. Christmas is tied to Jesus Christ. This is the card for Christmas. Say it isn't so. Coincidence? No, ladies and gentlemen. This is all part of the scripted reality. This is the 6th card, and here it is. See, this is the beast. Revelation 13 verses 18, 666, the number of a man. That's you. That's me. We're all part of it. You are the 666. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, and Jesus is 18, and Christ is 18. What do you think you're having? What do you think your movie is? You're carrying your cross, which is your screenplay. That's what your cross is, your screenplay. 6 protons, 12 for atomic mass. 6 plus 12 is 18. The 12th house of astrology, Pisces, the fish. Jesus was a fisher of men, the ichthys. Across the way, the house of Virgo. Jesus was born of a virgin. Mercury, Neptune, Poseidon. This age is ending. Poseidon's age is ending, moving into the age of Uranus. Okay, these are kind of a no-brainers here. And then when you do the numerology to say carbon, okay, because carbon would occupy this space, number 36. It's 20. And all of you have a birthday, and all of you are inside duality. It's just so interesting because Mason is 20, Jesuit is 20, Pawn is 20. You think those organizations get a hall pass in this reality? Not you on your Nelly, as Bob Proctor would say. No way. They're being used too. Stop paying attention to those people, folks. Focus on you and your screenplay. And I always like to hear what you saw during this presentation. I hope you got something out of it, especially the very beginning, like the crowd. If season 2's coming up with your reality show, who's tuning in? Is it going to be that juicy? Or are you just giving all your prana away because you're too busy fighting the system, chasing this? It's them, it's they, it's their fault. That's a boring, non-fulfilling way to live. Some of you incarnated to do that. This makes me grateful I didn't get that code. Anyway, we'd love to hear what you saw. Keep your comments coming. That's all I got for today. My name is Logan. Decode your reality. Until next time, we will see you later.